Man, I'm so excited. I just figured out all these problems that I was having with my mic, but let's just begin. So, 8 things that are complete waste of your money. Number 1, oh my goodness, overdraft fees. Don't even get me started on overdraft fees. They make me so mad. They shouldn't even exist in the first place. But if you don't know what an overdraft fee is, it's basically when you don't have enough money in your account to pay for something, so the bank pays for it. But because they paid for it, they charge you like an extra 30 to 50 bucks. I don't know. It kind of depends on the bank. But now you got to pay back the $3 for the toothbrush you couldn't afford, and you also have to pay PNC another 35 for no reason at all. Uh, this is such an easy fix. Just whenever you get a card, just don't allow overdraft. It's not that hard. Like, just turn off overdraft. If you need to do it, just like go in your bank settings or call your bank. It really shouldn't be that hard to do. I know, some places or some things can always be a pain in the ass for no reason at all. But for real, overdraft fees, just call them and tell them no. Number 2, data roaming charges. This one's another no-brainer, but just like overdraft fees, some people may not think about it or even know about it. But my dumbass went on a cruise a few years ago, and I thought everything was good and covered. Uh, but I charged like a couple $100, I think, because I kept calling and texting my girlfriend. You know, luckily we're still going strong. But anyways, I'm sure you can see why that's a waste of money. There are a couple ways you can avoid this. In most of the things on this list, it's as simple as just like calling the place or like calling whoever and telling them no. You know what I mean? But you can talk to your provider and handle it that way. Or another thing that I've heard just from watching YouTube is apparently you can get like electronic SIM cards or something. I don't know. Like, I know nothing about them, but maybe look into that. I don't know. It's a path. But regardless, you could just call your provider and spend like, I don't know, 20 bucks. I even that I don't know much about, but I do know, like, you just call your provider, bro, and tell them like you're about to go to this place. You want to not get screwed over with overseas bills. Next is maintenance fees. And bro, I don't even understand this one. And it ties into something I hold high in value, and I'll probably make an entire video about. But companies will charge you just for not having enough money in your account. Sometimes they'll charge you just for having the account. I don't know what, like, it makes me so mad, to be honest. They're charging you more money because you're broke, or, just for even having an account with them in the first place. Like, bro, what? I don't get it. But this is another thing that's super easy to avoid, but some people lose money for whatever reason. Maybe they don't realize they're paying for it or what, but literally, just as you're making the account, just look at the info. Look at the specifications before you open it. It's that simple. And, I'm probably going to make specific videos where I talk, about whatever, but I'll go more in depth on something. I'm definitely going to make like a kind of savings account video, and I'll give some as an example. But for real, just go with accounts with no maintenance fees. Like, that's all you gotta do. On to number 4, not utilizing credit cards. I know credit cards can be scary. I know credit cards may not be for everyone. Some people hate them. Some people don't have enough self-control. Some people just may not even realize the significance of spending way too much on a credit card and the impact it may have. But so many people don't use credit cards when they can. And credit cards have all types of benefits, from cash back to points on food or travel. It's literally free money for stuff you're already paying for. And I'll probably make an entire credit card video. But you can also just YouTube credit cards, or credit card tier list or whatever, and find a lot that way. Like, you can find a lot of stuff on YouTube. And that brings us to number 5, paying excess interest on loans. I know I may sound like I'm kind of backtracking on everything that I'm just saying, but I'm not. There's a fine line you gotta ride. But I don't want it to ever seem like I'm downplaying someone's situation. I know money is and can be tight for people, but I know some people can totally afford to pay back, like more than the minimum on a loan and get it paid off even just a little bit early. And so you're not getting as destroyed by interest, because they make you pay interest on loans. They make you pay interest heavy. But it's the same thing for a credit card. If you can spend, or if you spent $30 on something and you can afford the $30, don't wait on it. Don't forget about it. Just pay it off immediately. Really, if you don't need it, you could just wait until you have the money, and then charge it on the credit card, get your little cash back, and then pay it off immediately. Number 6, paying too much for a car. I'm American, and I swear this is one of the biggest problems that Americans face, especially young adults. Buy a car you can afford in cash, ideally 2 times over. And, this one has a lot of leeway. I know a lot of people can't afford to just save until they can buy it in cash, Some people need a freaking car like right now. But I say that to mean you don't have to buy a brand new $24,000 car. That's literally about my yearly income. I know it's a lot of money. Not a lot of money. I hope YouTube at least semi works out. But there are so many damn cars in the world, and there are so many different ways to find one. Find something solid. You don't want a beater either. I have a friend who bought a car for legitimately $25. Literally the craziest thing I've ever heard. And that might be the only exception to the beater rule, because it was ridiculously cheap. But, obviously, he got what he paid for. With that being said, just try to find something in the range of $4,000 to $8,000. There's no analysis behind that number. It just seems reasonable. You just don't pay a ridiculous amount for a car. With that being said, we're on to number 7, buying stuff on sale. Obviously, this sounds dumb, right? I get it. But what I mean is, don't spend money for the sake of spending money. Please, please, please. And ask anyone who's been into finance, the absolute fastest and easiest way to make more money is to spend less of it. Another thing that sounds stupid, but it's completely true. You don't need to buy a new pair of jeans just because they're 20% off when you have a closet full of it. You know what I mean? Just don't spend money for no reason. Come on. Last but not least, eating out. Oh wow, Josh, you're telling me not to eat out. Who would have thought? Look, I'm putting this in the video because there's actual merit to it and it makes sense. So many people spend way too much on food for no reason. I get it might save time, but when you're broke, your time isn't necessarily valuable enough. And I know that may sound mean or like I'm a finance bro with no sense of the real world, but I'm telling you, do the math on how much you spend and how often you do it. Some people could go on entire vacation trips with the money they spend yearly on eating out. You don't have to stop going to dinners with friends or family or, eat cheap slop your whole life. But at least put the numbers in front of you so you have a better idea of what you're spending, and just try to cut back a little bit. Please. Not just for you, but for me. Because this is something that I tell people all the time. Just chill out on the food. With that being said, I'm done with this video. This is the first one I've ever made. I'm pretty excited, but I don't really know how to end it. Just keep these things in mind.